I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Another day and more deranged, grifty, weird posts by the Republican cult leader, Donald Trump. I can't even call it a political party anymore. It's just a cult. Here is their cult leader, and he just whines all day, goes on his social media platform and whines. Here he goes. Here's the new disinformation chant from the people destroying our country. It's Trump's fault. And, Donald Trump thinks nothing is his fault. He did everything right. That's his whole malignant, narcissistic attitude. Well, maybe it is your fault. Maybe you did do a lot of things wrong. Maybe essentially everything you did hurt our nation. Yet you have this cult and you have large media networks and propaganda networks that want to normalize your behavior. But every single thing you did made our country weaker, humiliated us in the eyes of the world, and degraded our national security and degraded what makes America a truly special place. And you were trying to destroy it. Here's one of the other posts he makes. He goes, "These morons in the White House." Who starts talking like that? Like, look, if this is why I say this isn't a political party, okay? You have to be just a decent human being. I know the media networks, I know they don't want to talk about decency, but okay, in positions of leadership, I want people who are just decent, good people. Like, could you imagine in any work situation, somebody, starting an email or a correspondence saying, "Hey, you moron"? No, you can't get a job anywhere else in America and behave like deranged maniacs other than in the Republican Party. Here's Donald Trump's post. "These morons in the White House who are systematically destroying our country, headed up by the biggest moron of them all, hopeless Joe Biden, have a new disinformation game they are playing. Blame Trump for their grossly incompetent surrender in Afghanistan. I watched this disaster unfold just like everyone else. I saw them take out military first, give $85 billion of military equipment, allowing killing of our soldiers and leave Americans behind. Biden is responsible, no one else." How dare you? By the way, when you read something like this is what I mean. Like, how dare you? I mean, you are the person who cut a deal with the Taliban. You're the one who literally signed the surrender document. You released 5,000 Taliban prisoners. You had Mike Pompeo, put his arm around the head of the Taliban, basically cheerleading for the Taliban, invited the Taliban to come to the United States of America. That was you who freed 5,000 of the Taliban prisoners, including their entire leadership, or all of the prisoners you let free. And you didn't do it on the timeline recommended by the military. You didn't do it in coordination with the existing Afghan government. No, you just did it on your own. Hey, Pompeo, let the Taliban go. And who did that benefit more than anyone? Vladimir Putin, which is not a surprise. And so, yes, based on a deal that you cut after you releasing Taliban prisoners, I would say Biden handled the situation about as good as you can and actually brought our troops home, unlike you, who are a complete and utter coward. You sign the documents, you release the terrorists, and then you go, "Oops, nothing I can do here, not my fault." The exact opposite of what leadership is. Completely and utterly disgusting. He goes on to write, and then he talks about polls. "Why is Fox News using fake news CNN polls? Because they are fake. Even though I'm leading by a lot, but not nearly as good as other polls. Leading Biden by 9 points, leading Social Security, cutting De Sanctimonious by 35 points. MAGA." I mean, first off, lies. Like, what are you talking? Who talks like this? And then he goes, "We're getting lots of job requests from people currently working for the Social Security, Medicare cutting. Just watch De Sanctimonious campaign. Ron's poll numbers are dropping so fast and furious that many people are speculating he's not even going to run. Just hired kiss of death Jeff Rowe, who dropped young Kim to see if he can help. He will only help make Ron poor. I'm leading in Texas by 42 points, Iowa and New Hampshire by a lot, overall by close to 40, and by 10 against scammer Joe Biden." Again, all the stuff against Biden is completely and utterly false. And just like how like DeSantis just takes it. Donald Trump goes, the good old USA is losing so much, so fast that at the end of 1.5 years remaining in the most incompetent administration in history, we may not even have a country left. There's an invasion at our border. We're about to lose our dollar as the world standard, and we could, because of stupid people, end up in World War III. The only things they do well is cheating on elections, disinformation campaigns, and weaponizing the justice system, all projection. By the way, everything he says, this whole entire thing is projection. We are a nation in decline, a failing nation. And then here is his post where he is grifting and selling t-shirts of a fake mugshot where he claims he's 6'5", where it says, not guilty, contribute. Now is the time to prove just how much stronger we are than ever. Donate to Donald Trump now, because let's face it, folks, it is all a grift. It is all projection. It is all the rantings and ravings of a maniac, a complete and utter malignant narcissist who should not be anywhere near power, should not be anywhere near making decisions about our families and our health and our safety. The fact that the Republicans look at those posts and go, yeah, that's the person who I want to lead us, is sickening. Should we compare? Let's compare that to, that's what Trump's been posting today. What's Joe Biden posting? This is what Joe Biden's saying. Today's jobs report show that we continue to face economic challenges from a position of strength, with the economy adding 236,000 jobs last month and the unemployment rate at 3.5%. My economic agenda has powered a historic economic recovery. How about this post? Most Americans want lawmakers to act on common sense gun safety reforms that will save lives. Instead, Republican officials across America double down on dangerous bills that make our school places of worship and communities less safe. Our kids continue to pay the price. Or this one. A year ago today, we celebrated the Senate's historic confirmation of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first black woman to serve as the United States Supreme Court Justice. She has brought uncompromising integrity, a strong moral compass, and courage to the Supreme Court. Just think about those words: integrity, moral compass, courage. All of the things that Donald Trump lacks, and all of the things we need, though, in leadership and decency and humanity. Here's another post from Joe Biden talking about our plan to invest in America is working. Here's what it looks like across the country. A record 12.4 million jobs, new jobs, including 800,000 manufacturing jobs since we came to office. That's more jobs created in 2 years than any president has created in 4. Here he talks about trickle-down economics doesn't work. Here he goes on to say, and here's a video that he posts of himself, and we'll play this video. He goes, I will not let MAGA Republicans undo the progress that we've made, not under my watch. Here, let's play that video.
Seems like our Republican friends want to cede clean energy future to China, make us dependent on overseas supply chains, export jobs overseas, and weaken our energy security. The MAGA Republicans in Congress also want to cut the CHIPS and Science Act, stripping our investments for the next generation of science and technology, from biomanufacturing to quantum computing. Take away, get rid of it. That would mean ceding the future of innovation and technology to China. Well, I've got news for my MAGA Republican friends. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. We're not going to let them undo the progress we've made.
And here President Biden is saying, Congress passed the assault weapons ban. In a post, play the clip.
There's a moral price to pay for inaction. Last year, we came together to pass the most significant gun safety legislation in 30 years. It was bipartisan. We got it done. And don't tell me we can't do more together. So I again call on Congress to pass the assault weapons ban. Pass it. This should not be a partisan issue. It's a common sense issue. They have to act now.
And finally, Biden saying, we passed the most aggressive economic recovery since President Franklin D. Roosevelt and made the most substantial infrastructure investment since President Eisenhower's interstate highway system. The progress we've made creating strong, sustainable economic growth is real. You see the differences there? And by the way, to me, that's the type of difference that matters. That's the type of difference that I care about. Trump, capital letters, disinformation, this moron, that moron, and just all lies. It is shocking that a modern day Republican Party follows that guy and has become a cult. Like it is shocking to me that they've so debased themselves. They've destroyed themselves for a malignant, narcissistic cult leader. So strange. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers. Help us get there. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Also, wherever you get your audio podcast, search MeidasTouch Podcast and subscribe there for free. All right, hit subscribe on this YouTube channel. It is free. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas.
Lock him up. Indictment season is upon us. Celebrate with the new Indictment season t-shirt and v-neck exclusively at store.MeidasTouch.com.